So he's upset. He's crying, and I pick up his cue and I go with it. I said, Papa, you're right. There is a tooth fairy, and Katie is now wants to fight me. She's like, Mom, it's you. I said, no, it's not me. I'm not that forgetful. I was forgetful. This tooth fairy was, I don't know. Maybe she was at a rehabilitation program of the Tooth Fairy organization because she constantly forgot. She never actually gave the kids money. She'd give them bunny bucks. If you're from Texas and you have an HEB, you know what I'm talking about. She'd give them McDonald's coupons. Sometimes she would leave notes talking about how her how she forgot her tooth fairy bag. And she will give them money on payday. This was a bad fairy. she was she was bad. She didn't remember things. Sometimes she'd give coupons. Uh, so my daughter said, "It has to be you. No one is that scattered-brained, but you." I said, "No, that tooth fairy's real."
They left the snap card under his pillow. Get yourself something real now.
So anyway, I said he's real. And okay, so he lost a tooth. And so that's when Katie said, "Why are you putting your tooth under the pillow?" And in our house, they would put it in their sock. And all I had to do was grab the sock. But there were times where I would forget. The kids would wake up and the tooth is still there. And I'd say, leave a note with the tooth fairy and, let them know that they forgot. So that also was an issue we had with our tooth fairy. Um, I,
Set an alarm.
she was just absolute trash. So anyway, um, he says, "Really?" I said, "Really?" He believed me. That precious boy. He says, "Okay, Mom." I said, "And ignore your sister. And Katie, knock it off." Now, I didn't even take Katie aside and say, "We're going to pretend." I didn't trust her at this point. So I said, "Katie, she's real." And she goes, "No way, Mom. I can't believe you believe that." Now, Max is skeptical, okay? He's a typical third child, and he's observing this, and he says, I think all of y'all are liars, and I won't trust any of y'all," because he's just observing this. And he's like, I don't know. My tooth fairy, he actually said, "My tooth fairy forgets me all the time." I forgot again. So he goes to sleep. He puts his sock under his pillow, and goddamn this fairy, she forgot. Okay, his tooth fairy forgot. The next day, I'm having coffee, and my mother's having coffee. We're sitting there, and he comes in, and you have to see what I saw, what my eyes saw. Katie's like, "Mom, is this for real?" I don't even know what they're talking about. She says, "Mom, is this for real?" Max is going, "Oh my God." Like he just became a believer. Like the whole time he doubted what was happening. He probably is the one that told Katie that I was the tooth fairy. That's how tricky he is. He probably is like, "I don't think there's a tooth fairy." Because Katie could not have come up with that on her own. She was too much of a she believed in magic. She believed in garden fairies.
Still this.
She believed in mermaids. For a long time, she thought she was half mermaid. So anyway, she's like, "Is this for real, Mom? Is this for real?" They're excited about something. And Max is like, "Oh my God, Mom, is Mom." And Evan is like in tears. He goes, "Mom, look what was in my sock." People, I'm not messing around here. He pulled out a $20 bill. A $20 bill. I looked at my mother and I said, "Did you do that?" She goes, the hell would I give a child $20? It's a quarter per tooth. I'm not even. A couple years ago, about 5 years ago, I asked her. She says no. And I don't want to talk about that. That was weird. I said, you didn't give the $20? She goes, no. And she didn't want to talk about it. She's like, but I still think about that. I'm like, I don't know. Where did he get the $20 from? That is a true story.